Hello everybody, welcome to my channel and also welcome to this course Object-Oriented Programming using Java. Myself Tanvir Rahman, and in this tutorial I am going to explain about Java abstraction. So abstraction, being one of the most important pillars of object-oriented programming, is a process that hides the implementation details but shows only the functionality to the user. So how we can do that, or how we can achieve abstraction in OOP? So we can do that by using two concepts. The first one is abstract classes and the second one is interfaces. We can achieve about 0 to 100% abstraction when we are using abstract classes, while we can achieve a total 100% abstraction when we are using interfaces. So firstly, I should tell you some key points regarding abstract classes that you should remember. So the first point is abstract classes may or may not contain abstract methods. So what do you mean by abstract method? So by the term abstract method, we mean that a method which is without implementation, I mean without having any body. It does only have the signatures, and with an abstract keyword after the access modifier or before the name of the particular method. So that is abstract method. So let me again tell you the point. So abstract classes may or may not contain abstract method. Secondly, if a class has at least one abstract method, then the class must be declared abstract. Thirdly, if a class is declared abstract, which means if a class is declared to be abstract in nature, then we cannot create an object of that class. We have to extend it, or we have to inherit it from another class. And lastly, if we extend a particular abstract class, then we have to provide all of the implementations to the abstract methods in that abstract class. So if we let me clear it. If we declare an abstract class, and inside that abstract class there can be one or more abstract methods, as well as it can contain an implemented method, I mean a full method, then if another class, let's say class XYZ, is extending an abstract class, then the XYZ class must implement all of the abstract methods that was present in the abstract class. So let me quickly show you that. So in order to do that, I am going to reopen the project which I was using, that was car management system, and now I'm going to create a new abstract class inside this cars package. So in order to do that, I'm going to new and then class, then I'm going to check this check field abstract, and I'm going to name it, and I must name it as engine. So engine will be an abstract class. So here take a look again that this checkbox is checked. Now I'm going to click the finish button, and there is the abstract class itself with abstract keyword in it. Okay, so I'm going to tell you another important topic is abstract class can have constructors. Let me quickly show you that. So public, let's say engine, and this is possible. So abstract class can contain constructors. You have to remember that. So abstract class can contain normal fields like public, string, name, engine name, whatever it is. And now I'm going to create some abstract fields, abstract methods. So public abstract void run. So I will not put any curly braces there, rather I will end it with a semicolon. So this is the abstract method itself, which doesn't have any kind of implementation. It is terminated by a single semicolon, and it has an abstract keyword in it. So this is abstract method. So we can see that inside an abstract class there is an abstract method, and as well as we can also declare another method like public void test run, and we can implement it too. So it can have a method body like system.out.print. What is happening? System.out.println. Then I'm going to print something. Test run is going on. Okay, so as you can see that inside an abstract class there can have simple fields, there can have constructors, there can have simple methods as well as abstract method. And if we try to remove this abstract keyword, it will throw us an error because there is an abstract method. So I'm undoing it, and now if I am going to comment it and then I'm going to remove this abstract keyword, then if I'm going to save it, it doesn't show any error. So what I said earlier is that abstract classes may or may not contain abstract methods, which mean if I say it to be abstract, and you can see that this class is totally looking like a normal class. This doesn't have any kind of abstract methods in it. So the first topic or key point I said you earlier, that abstract classes may or may not contain abstract methods. Secondly, I told you that if a class has at least one abstract method, then that class must be declared abstract. So I showed you earlier also that. Now I'm going to show you that we cannot instantiate an abstract class. So I'm uncommenting it, and now I'm going to create an object, which is not possible, but I'm going to show you inside program class. I'm going to create an object of this engine class is equals to new engine. So not this way. If I'm going to create an object like this, then it will show an error, cannot instantiate the type engine. Okay, so the topics I was telling you earlier, I have already shown you all of the implementation details. Now how we can inherit it? So let's say the bike class wants to extend the engine abstract class. So I'm going to write engine, and now we can see an error. Why? Because inside this abstract class there is an abstract method. So inside bike we must have to provide the implementation of this run method. So whenever I'm clicking this icon, it shows me add unimplemented methods, and whenever I am double clicking it, you can say that the run method is overwritten here. So this is how we can implement abstract classes. And now I want to show you one more thing, that we cannot extend more than one abstract classes at a time. So I can see an error inside program class. Oh, there you can see, because we cannot create an object like this. So I'm going to comment this line. Okay, so now I'm going to create another abstract class. So I'm going to name it as engine1, and then I'm going to click the finish button. So engine1 is another abstract class. Now if I want to show you that multiple inheritance regarding abstract classes is not possible, then if I try to write public class bike extends engine comma engine1, then what will happen? It is not possible, because you cannot extend more than one abstract classes at a time. But I want to show you that this engine class, which is abstract, it can extend another abstract class. So extends engine1, which is correct. And we can also declare a constructor inside engine1. So public engine1, and let's say there is a field called public string, sorry, it must be capitalized, public string type, and here I want to pass a parameter that is a string type, and inside this parameter I want to initialize it. This dot type is equals to type. Remember, this type is that and this type is that. Okay, so now engine abstract class will show an error because it is extending another abstract class which has a constructor and there is a parameter in it. So we have to call the super keyword here, super, and then we have to pass a single string. So it is type A class. So that is an A class engine. Now the error will be gone. So this is how we can use abstract classes. Now I'm going to show you how we can use interfaces and what are the key points regarding interfaces you should remember. So the first thing, that you cannot also create an object of an interface. You have to inherit it. I mean, you have to implement it. Secondly, an interface doesn't contain any constructor. Thirdly, an interface cannot contain a normal field. It must to be static and final. And lastly, multiple inheritance is possible when you are using interfaces, and so that you can achieve 100% of abstraction, because it cannot contain any kind of complete method. All of the methods inside an interface must be abstract, so you don't need to put the abstract keyword too. It is by default abstract. So let me show you that. So I am going to create an interface, and I'm going to name it as I ride. So this is the interface, that is I ride, and look, I'm going to show you that it cannot contain a simple field. So I'm going to create a new field, public string name. It is not possible, so it will show an error. So what I can do is that public static and final, and then I have to initialize it. So our name is equals to a long ride. That is possible. Now I cannot create any constructor. Let me quickly show you that. Public I ride, which is not possible. It will show an error. So what you can do, you just can declare some abstract methods here, like public void start right, then put a semicolon there, and public void stop right, and put a semicolon there. So this is how we create interfaces. Let me create another interface very quickly. So I'm going to create another interface, and I'm going to name it as I test. So inside I test, I'm going to create a method, public void test. Okay, so now I'm moving towards the bike class again, which was extending engine abstract class. Now I'm going to implement the interfaces. So I'm going to write implements, and then the first interface was I ride. So I'm going to write I ride. Okay, now whenever I am implementing the I ride interface, it shows me an error, because inside I ride there are two abstract methods. So you have to provide implementation here. So here if I click there, and it shows me that add unimplemented methods. If I double click on it, then those two methods are overridden and the error is gone. Now what I want to show you, that we can have multiple inheritance using interfaces. How we can do that? We have two interfaces here. One is I ride and another is I test. So from the bike class again, I'm going to put a comma there, and then I'm going to implement another interface, and that is I test. And it is again showing us some error, because inside I test there is an abstract method. So I have to implement it again. So add an implemented method, and it is test, and the problem is gone. And we can see that we can implement more than one interfaces at a time, but we cannot implement more than one abstract classes. Not implement, we cannot extend more than one abstract classes at a time. So I hope you understand all of the concepts, and thank you for watching. This is Tanvir Rahman signing out.